Barcelona, Spain. Politics and soccer will merge on Sunday when Barcelona becomes more than just a football club for Catalonia's separatists. Barcelona's home match against Las Palmas falls on the day when the region's secessionist leaders have vowed to defy authorities and hold a disputed referendum on independence from Spain. The Spanish government calls the vote illegal and has ordered a crackdown to stop any ballots from being cast, sparking protests in the streets and universities. The dispute has increased tensions in the proud and prosperous region to fever pitch, and Barcelona's Camp Nou stadium will be no exception. It won't be a normal day, it will be a historic day for the country, but we have to treat the football match like any other, Barcelona Vice President Jordi Cardona said. We will carry the Catalan flag's red and yellow colors on the collars of our shirts and in our hearts. Europe's largest stadium at nearly 100,000 seats, Camp Nou has become a rallying point for Catalan nationalists in recent years, with a boom in support for a break from Spain that polls show has reached roughly half of the region's 7.5 million residents. Spain's King Felipe VI met with deafening jeers at Camp Nou at the final of the Copa del Rey in 2015, and the chants of independence that are a fixed feature of every home match are set to be at maximum volume come Sunday. Given the supercharged atmosphere, the club has called for calm and for the spirit of sport to prevail. We are not uncomfortable with the date of the match. It's an important day for Catalonia and the interests of Barca have to be compatible with the majority of Catalans, Cardona said. I believe that each one of our members and fans can express whatever they want, but we ask them to do it respectfully. We are focusing on the competition. We all want to win the match. Barcelona defender Gerard Piqué is also giving advice. From today until Sunday we will express ourselves pacifically, Piqué tweeted on Thursday. Don't give them any excuse for a crackdown. That's what they want. And sing loud and clear. Piqué and the rest of Barcelona's players have good reason not to get distracted by the whirlwind of politics and police activity. The team is on an 8-game winning run, leads the league, and holds a 7-point advantage over fierce rival Real Madrid in 6th place. Barcelona's football club became identified as a bastion of Catalan culture during the repressive years of Gen. Francisco Franco's dictatorship from 19,391,975, when the Catalan language, which is spoken alongside Spanish, was banned from schools and public use. Its slogan, "More than a club," has come to mean for many its commitment to Catalonia. In the past 4 decades, Catalonia has gained a large degree of self-governance and boasts one of the strongest economies of the southern European country. Still, many Catalans feel disrespected by the central government in Madrid and complain that they pay more in taxes than they receive back in public spending. Barcelona's rivalry with Real Madrid carries political overtones for many, with Barca representing Catalonia and Real Madrid standing in for the rest of Spain. Most of Barcelona's players avoid talking about politics, but former player and coach Pep Guardiola has led pro-independence rallies and is an outspoken proponent of Sunday's vote. This isn't about independence, it's about democracy, Guardiola, the Manchester City manager, said in a video posted on social media by a separatist grassroots group this week. Barcelona has openly backed a referendum and criticized the robust steps taken by authorities to impede the vote that Spain's government considers unconstitutional, since questions of state should involve all Spaniards, not just those in one region. Many Catalans are lukewarm supporters at best of Spain's national team, which would lose several key players, including Piqué, Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba, if Catalonia separated. Catalonia already has a regional selection that plays the occasional friendly. It got a huge boost when it was coached by Dutch great Johan Cruyff, and it has played top-level national sides including Argentina and Brazil. Police have decreased the chances of separatists being able to hold a wide-scale vote, which Prunian parties have boycotted on grounds that it is outside the law and lacking in guarantees of transparency. But Barcelona's alignment with the separatist cause is in direct conflict with its desire to remain one of the world's most successful soccer teams. Not only would Barcelona run the risk of alienating supporters across Spain, the big fear is a potential flight of its top stars, led by Lionel Messi. Spanish League President Javier Tebas and Spain's Higher Council of Sport have repeatedly warned that Barcelona and the other football clubs in Catalonia would be out of La Liga if the region seceded. Tebas recently said that Barcelona would be in a Catalan division that would be much better than the Dutch league. Real Madrid are already the two-time defending UEFA Champions League winners, and are tabbed as one of 2 or 3 favourites to be crowned champions of Europe again this season. More Carlo Ancelotti out as Bayern Munich manager. While the past 3 Champions League triumphs in 4 seasons is already littered with silverware, the future isn't looking so bad either after the defending La Liga champions announced new long-term contracts for a pair of under-25 superstars in the making in the span of 24 hours this week. 24-year-old defender Rafael Varane, who featured prominently in all 3 UCL runs, signed on Wednesday a new 5-year deal which will keep him at the club until 2022. A day later, 21-year-old attacker Marco Asensio, who's loudly announced himself onto the world stage already this season, re-upped for 6 more years with a new deal tying him to Los Blancos until 2023. More Southgate refreshingly honest about England's lack of quality. Asensio signed for Madrid from Mallorca in the summer of 2014, but spent the next 2 seasons on loan, back at his old club for a season and then at Espanyol. Last season saw him break into the first team and flash momentary bits of brilliance late on in the season. That momentum has carried over to this season, as the heir apparent to the trio of Cristiano Ronaldo, Gareth Bale and Karim Benzema has 4 goals and 1 assist through the first 10 games all competitions. To the surprise of absolutely no one, Real Madrid will remain quite good for quite some time to come. Follow it. Indeed, MLS Colorado Rapids forward Kevin Doyle says he is retiring because of repeated concussions. Doyle is from Ireland and has played 16 years in Europe and in Major League Soccer. He released a statement via social media Thursday. This year it has been clear to me that heading the ball was becoming problematic and causing me to have repeated headaches, Doyle wrote. Full statement here. 2 concussions this season and numerous other over the years have made this more concerning. Doyle said after consulting with doctors he decided to retire rather than risk permanent damage. The 34-year-old has 16 goals and 8 assists in 71 matches with the Rapids since joining the team in 2015. Before that he played 10 years in Europe, including stints with the Wolverhampton Wanderers, Queen's Park Rangers and Crystal Palace. He was also a regular with the Irish national team, making 63 appearances and scoring 14 goals. "I'm privileged and proud to have fulfilled my childhood dream of playing for my country," Doyle wrote. "Everything else was a bonus." Doyle's latest concussion came on September 2 against LA Galaxy and he hasn't played since. He had 5 goals and 4 assists in 25 matches this season. "Kevin is both a terrific player and a terrific person," said Rapids interim general manager Porak Smith said in a statement. "His contributions on the field have been invaluable, and off-field he has been a wonderful influence on the locker room as well as the community as a whole. His efforts will be sorely missed." Former MLS standout and current broadcaster Taylor Twellman, who was forced to retire from soccer because of concussions, posted a message to Doyle on Twitter. The Rapids have struggled this season and were eliminated from playoff contention Wednesday night with a 20 loss at Dallas. Following this weekend's slate of Premier League fixtures, club soccer won't take another break for 5 months, thus the meaty portion of the season is so nearly upon us. First, though, one more round of league games followed by that dreaded weekend off. More JPW's Place Predictions TV stream schedule for the weekend. Here are 5 of the biggest place storylines to follow over the next 72 hours. First of 6 battles among the big 3 if we're operating under the widespread notion that Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea, as they currently sit 1, 2 and 3 in the league table, are the main contenders for this season's place title. Saturday's 12:30 p.m. ET kickoff at Stamford Bridge. Watch live on NBCSN and NBCSports.com is of massive importance. Third versus first. Man City 212 combined score through 6 games, like Man United, are yet to lose a game in the place this season, while Chelsea haven't lost since opening day. 102 combined score in the ensuing 5 games. To say Antonio Conte and Pep Guardiola's sides are in good form would be quite the understatement. Conte got the better of Guardiola on both occasions last season, knocking off a 9-man City side at the Etihad Stadium in December before doing the double with a 21 win at home in April. Each side was victorious in the UEFA Champions League this week, with City brushing Shakhtar Donetsk aside, and Chelsea snatching all 3 points from their away trip to Atletico Madrid. Undefeated versus only defeated. 5 wins, 1 draw. Man United's start to the season. 0 wins, 0 draws, 6 losses. Crystal Palace's start to the season. Unfortunately for Frank de Boer, Roy Hodgson, up next for the Eagles is a trip to Old Trafford followed by a visit from Chelsea, so expect things to get worse before they get better. Will Palace score their first goal this season? Tune in to find out. Further complicating matters for Hodgson and co. is the scintillating form of Romelu Lukaku, 9 goals in 8 games, all competitions, and the young attacking duo of Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial, 10 goals between them, all competitions, already this season, even with Paul Pogba still unavailable through injury hamstring. Jose Mourinho's men did the 0-0 over Palace last season, winning 21 away in December and cruising to a 20 victory at home in May. Rafa faces his former club. Rafa Benitez served 6 seasons as manager at Anfield, and while had previously faced his former club as manager of Chelsea. Sunday's 11:30 a.m. ET kickoff watch live on NBCSN and NBCSports.com will be just the second time HES done so while at Newcastle United. While it's still early in the season, the Magpies' current standing in the league table, 9th, and they trail the Reds by just 2 points, is undoubtedly one of the biggest surprises thus far. No side currently in the top 16 of the league table has conceded more goal than Liverpool, which is welcome news for a Newcastle side that has struggled a fair bit in the goal-scoring department, 6 in 6 games. On the other hand, nothing they've seen thus far will have prepared them for the allowed attacking onslaught Liverpool are set to unleash. Trouble ahead for Huddersfield. Huddersfield were the single biggest story in the place through 2 games. 2 wins as a newly promoted side had them level on points for the league lead, though David Wagner's side has come back down to earth in its last 4 games, 3 draws and a loss, which slots them into 8th place ahead of Saturday's visit from Tottenham Hotspur. 7:30 a.m. ET. Watch live on NBCSN and NBCSports.com. It's the first time the Terriers have faced any of the Big Six, and signals the start of a run of 5 of 8 games against those very sides. Man United, Liverpool, Man City and Arsenal all follow in relatively quick succession. Battles at the bottom league table places 15 through 19 currently read as follows: Swansea, Stoke City, Leicester, West Ham and Bournemouth. While it's too early to call any game a relegation 6-pointer, it's far from too early to preclude yourself from the relegation dogfight which will be cultivated over the following 2 months. Follow it and MLS. Gareth Southgate's England has a bizarrely positive, grounded feel about it these days, and much of the belief centres around the 47-year-old manager's refreshingly honest nature of management and speaking to the press. More England's 26-man roster for final World Cup qualifiers. While there were serious questions raised over whether or not Southgate truly wanted the job, at least at the time he was put in charge, it would appear his presence has provided the 3 Lions that much-needed healthy dose of reality and grounding. Take, for example, his comments on Thursday, in which he bemoans the lack of fit options available to him, and does everything but name names in saying, "I've had to call in players that don't belong here right now." Quotes from The Guardian: "It's frustrating because the biggest story here is we have about 12 players missing with injury. It's incredible. If you were to say, am I entirely happy with the squad I've named, then no, because we've got too many good players missing with injury. And the consequence of that, you could well argue, is that there are 1 or 2 in the squad who haven't necessarily warranted it on their performances. The reality is that I don't want players to be comfortable," he said. The danger when you don't have competition for places is twofold. What's the level needed to get in the squad, and is everyone fulfilling that at the moment? Well, I'm not so sure they are. There's been a couple of easy decisions because I haven't had to make any phone calls to players who might feel hard done by. They are always difficult phone calls to make, but I'd rather be making them. After that, we come into training and it's am I a shoo-in to get in the team, or do I have to push a bit harder because I have a couple snapping at my heels? There's a good challenge for those players in the next week if they want to stay in the squad. Even without the full complement of players, he'd have preferred to call into camp for next week's final pair of World Cup qualifiers against Slovenia and Lithuania. Southgate still has the informed likes of Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling and Dele Alli to fall back upon, as England need just 2 more points to secure automatic qualification to next summer's tournament in Russia. The vibe around England feels, at least from afar, to be better at present than it has done in a long, long time, especially at any point being 9 months ahead of a major international tournament. Follow it and MLS.